everyone, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. Super happy to be here with you on Wood Sign Wednesday. Today we are going to be making a bathroom wood sign, and I'm going to take you through all the steps in creating this. So let's go ahead and get into this video. All right, are you ready? I am. Okay, so you guys, this is a 24 by 24 plywood piece of wood. It's already pre-cut. You can get these at almost all of your hardware stores. And I had this one already sitting around. It's even pre-stained because I thought I was going to use it for another project and didn't. And y'all, you know I moved. If you didn't, hi you guys, I moved and I have no access to any of my power tools or miter saws. So these signs are going to be power tool free, except a screw gun. That's it. So you guys, I am taking a rough sanding block. Could not tell you the grit. I apologize. Again, just using things that I have at my disposal, basically. So I am sanding off just any of the debris, any of the little splinters on the side. And then I'm taking a smoother sanding block and smoothing that out. You don't want it rough. You want it nice and smooth like butter. And then I'm taking my microfiber cloths that I use all the time. And we are taking weathered gray on here. Now I have to tell you, I am at the bottom of this can. So the stain is going to appear darker. Whenever you're at the bottom of your stain can, it always is so much more rich in color. And I also have that stain that I had already put on there. So usually you guys, weathered gray looks just a tad bit lighter than this, but it worked out. So we are just going with the grain of the wood here, and then I am staining the sides as well because one, we want it to look finished, and two, I didn't know what I wanted to do with that. I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If you guys did not know, if you are new to my channel, my name is Sammy. This is Unicorn Dust Designs, and I have been moving to a new house these last 2 weeks. So this sign is going to be for my master bathroom. I am going to show you guys a video of what I am trying to cover up until we can get the bathroom painted. And I hope this gives you inspiration on how to create some awesome wood signs for your bathroom. So let's go ahead and keep going. All right, y'all. This is what we are trying to cover here, okay? So this was left from the previous owners of the house. It looks almost like, don't mind my nail polish, they had like a towel ring here or something that they took off and they just patched up before they left. So until we can save the money to paint our master bathroom, we need to cover that up. So that's why the sign I'm making is so large. And I mean, why not, right? So let's get back into the video. All right, you guys, now we're taking these barnyard design hooks. I got them off Amazon quite a bit ago. I will try and find them and put them in my Amazon store link in the description box for you. They came in a pack of 6. Now, obviously this sign is huge, so I'm gonna use 4 of them, and I am gonna play around with my placement before I size my design out. So I'm gonna go ahead and we are going to place these here. And then what I'm gonna do is get my painter's tape, and I am gonna go ahead, here I go. You guys know I have a thing, like my numbers, if you watch any of my DIY videos, I'm like a stickler on counting. I'm just a weirdo. Okay. So I did all that counting, and then I'm just gonna move them anyways. So here's my painter tape. I do not want my hooks sitting flush with the bottom of the sign. So I'm using this painter's tape as a guide to where I want them. And this will also help me later in the video with keeping my hooks straight. So as you can see on the hooks, they go up a little higher at the top. So I'm going to measure from the top of my sign down to the top of my hook. And this way, when I go to size my design, my lettering isn't going to go behind those hooks. All right, taking a minute to go into real time here, you guys. So this is my mat that I put together. Do you see this? Okay, so this is basically a 48 inches. Now the Cameo 4 does cut matless. However, I have not taken the time to figure out how to do that. So this is what I use, and it's what I used on my Cameo 2 before the Cameo cut mat list. So this is literally just like I rigged 2 old mats together. This is just painter's tape that is on the front and the back of it. Works like a charm, but you do have to play around with the placement of it. And then we are going to cut our sign. So this is Cameo, and the reason I chose to use the Cameo silhouette versus the Cricut is because I can cut longer than 24 inches, which this I have at 28 inches. And 2, I don't have to slice all my pieces apart to get this. All I'm gonna have to do is cut 2 separate sections, okay? So when I do that, this is at 19.5, across is 28 inches. I will go to send, and as you can see, it's showing you what it's going to cut basically. So as you can see, whatever is not showing up, see that in the red? None of that's gonna cut. So what I do to kind of just get a better view, I know my mat only cuts 12 inches wide. So I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna change my height to 12 inches, and that's gonna show me clearly what it's gonna cut. Anything in this white, it's gonna cut. Now let me see the cut border. So this is the cut border. This will tell you where it's going to stop cutting if you leave it that way. So we are good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take our image and I'm just going to move it down. And this way we're not getting the weird, you know, little tops, sorry if this is all crooked, of it. Okay, so do you see that? Now that's gonna be one image. It's going to cut up to 28 inches long, and then this is 12 inches wide. So we will have 2 pieces of stencil to lay on our board, but it's way better than having to like slash all these together and piece them together. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that, and then we're gonna do the same thing for Worries Away. All right, so as you can see, if you guys are gonna use this or a longer mat, just make sure you either have enough space or you are there to guide the mat, because if it were to hit the wall, you'd probably get a jam and it won't be pretty. But as you can see, totally works, nice, clean lines, and this is just my method. So after putting our transfer tape on here, what I am doing now is I'm going back to where I have the painter's tape on the bottom, I have my hooks up there, and I'm measuring again from the top of my sign down to the top of those hooks, which was about 19.5 inches. And I am going to apply painter's tape at that 19.5 inch mark. And I'm doing this because when I place my stencil down, I don't want to go past that point, or else my stencil is going to go behind the hooks. Does that make sense, you guys? So let's see. Yeah, I measured that wrong. Okay, so now I have my guide here. I can't go past that painter's tape, basically. So, and it's also what I designed the stencil size to be. So I designed this to be 19.5 inches by 24 inches, basically. So, gosh, can I get that painter's tape right or what? Okay, so now we're gonna apply our stencil. Now, I usually use Vinyl Ease transfer tape, and that's that like cloudy looking one. But I will say when you're applying a stencil, it's kind of hard to see the placement of it since it has that like cloudy finish on it. So I am just using the contact paper from Walmart. They do also sell it at Dollar Tree. However, I have not had the best luck with the Dollar Tree version because it leaves like a sticky residue on top of my vinyl, which I do not like. So now we are going to play around with the placement. So I have my top stencil down, and then we are going to go in with our second stencil. Now I'm not going to apply the second stencil, y'all. I am just going to basically use it as a guide to make sure I'm laying it where I need to. Now you guys, when you are peeling back your stencil, slow and steady wins the race. I cannot tell you how many times I got overly confident and go like a little faster and then it rips my vinyl. So I've learned my lesson. Like, even though I've been doing this for a while, just go slow. It's gonna save you time and you're not gonna have to make another stencil if it rips. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here I am, and all I'm doing is just looking. Like, do I have enough room? Is the spacing where I want it? And then once I figure that out, I'm gonna lay that down. I need to push that up. And then I'm going to apply this stencil first, because the other stencil is just as big as this one. And if I were to lay the transfer paper on top of each other, that would just be a hot mess. So I am going to use my scraper. Now I will say, let me know if you guys have this same thing happen, but whenever I use weathered gray or like a color other than brown, I will say, I have the toughest time getting my vinyl to just kind of stick to it. Now it will, once, do you see like I'm going slow, I'm pressing the vinyl down, it adheres once it's on there, but coming off of the transfer paper, it never wants to stick. Now, if I were using Jacobian or dark walnut, I seriously never have any issues. It's the weirdest thing. So you guys, we're gonna keep doing this here, slow and steady. Now, I wanted to let you guys know that as of January in the new year, I will be changing my post dates to Tuesday, every other Thursday for wood signs, and then Saturdays. So make sure, write that down, put it in your phone. I will be reminding you guys. And I've chosen to do every other Thursday for wood signs because, one, the cost of wood is getting expensive, y'all. And right now, I don't even have the space to make them until we get everything set up. But so Tuesday, wood signs will be Thursdays and then Saturdays. Okay, so back to our sign here. So now I'm gonna place the second sign. And of course, you guys, if you haven't already guessed, I made the tails of the letter or the words longer than the sign. That way it just looks like it's, you know, going off the sign. You get what, you picking up what I'm putting down here? So again, I had trouble with this vinyl sticking too, but then I got smart and I was like, let's cut this transfer paper in half. That way it is way easier to peel off since it's smaller sections. So right here, I was like, of course the away is not giving me troubles. Like, cause the top part, you guys, that took me some time. So again, we're good. I am checking right here for any bubbles, and I caught one right there, and pressing my vinyl down with my finger to ensure it is adhered, there's no bubbles, and there will be no bleeds. So next we are taking our chippy brush, and I'm taking linen white Rust-Oleum chalk paint. That is in my Amazon store link down in the description box. And as you can see, I'm focusing a lot of the paint over the words and then kind of distressing everything around it, because when you peel your vinyl, you obviously want your lettering to show. So that's why I'm focusing so much of the paint on top of our words and then distressing the rest of the paint around it. Now, if you know me, you know I'm not all about the clean white. I like the distress look. I don't even think it's Farmhouse. Like, I just like the look of it. I don't know, but I love it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go ahead and let that dry. I only do one coat of this paint here because, like I said, I want it to look distressed. I didn't need it to look super vibrant. And if I would have done another layer over it, I just think it would have taken away from the distress look. So then I'm going to go in with the chippy brush and just whatever excess paint I had on my brush, I'm just kind of putting it on the sides, not very heavy or anything. And then we're going to go ahead and let that dry. And then I'm going to go ahead, and the most satisfying part of wood sign making is taking off the vinyl and not seeing any bleeds. and I did not get one bleed, y'all. And I know a lot of people ask me, like when I say 651 permanent vinyl, like what? Yes, permanent vinyl has better adhesive, which in turn will cause less bleeds. Now, if you were to put that permanent vinyl on here, paint, and then leave it for 24 hours, you're gonna have a pretty darn tough time getting that vinyl off. So when you are using permanent vinyl, you're putting it on there and you're taking it off within an hour or less, because I use a blow dryer. So there's my little 411 for y'all. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and let that dry. Now these hooks came with silver screws. Why? So I spray painted them. I didn't show that, but I spray painted them. Okay, now I'm using Helmsman spar urethane, water-based. Make sure you got the water-based, or you're gonna have your sign turn yellow on you if it is oil-based. I am putting thin coats. This does have like a watery texture to it, so a little bit goes a long way. Now do not, when you are using this clear, go back over a part that you already brushed, because then you are gonna get a gummy, clear nastiness, okay? You just need to go over it one time. Make sure to get those sides so you don't have cloudy globs. Now I'm attaching my D-hooks. It's all dry. And I'm going 3 inches in on each side. Now I do have D-hooks in my Amazon store link. They are a bit smaller than these because these are no longer available on Amazon, but they still hold the same amount of weight. So I am using D-hooks because of the weight that will be put on this sign from the towels. And there we go. All right, for the hooks, here we go. So I'm applying that tape again down at the bottom, because remember, I don't want my hooks sitting flush. Sorry about the angle, you guys. I am working at my craft table. I don't have a table up for my wood signs yet, so yeah. So playing around with the placement, here we go. And then I'm getting the screws that I had painted white. I just spray painted them. And now I'm screwing these in. I had asked my husband, is there any way to guarantee that I'm not putting these on crooked? And he said if I wanted to place the hooks, basically get a pencil and then like color in the circles where the screws would be, then lift it up and then use a level across it. That sounded like way more work than I wanted to invest in my bathroom sign. So I just went for it and eyeballed it, and y'all, your girl impresses herself every time, because not one of those were crooked, and you'll see all the spacing was on point. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up the 2 other hooks on the left side here. Take that off, and then I'm gonna get a ruler, and I just had to know, like, did I get these perfect? And I did. Yep, tooting my own horn over here. Toot toot. Craziness. Oh, that's scary. Sorry, you guys. Haha. All right, you guys, she's done. And look at how cute. I wanted it flush with the doorway, and I wanted it higher up because if we had like an oversized towel or like a short robe or something, I didn't want it super close to the floor. I need to get a new shower hook rail thing. All right, next one, surprise, we're doing 2. And I did 2 because I couldn't decide. So this is a framed sign from Arteza. I've used these before. They come in a pack of, I believe, 5 or 6. And when you use my coupon code down in the description box for 10% off, they break down to about like 5 something a piece. So these are great to use, you guys, when you don't have tools. When I first started making wood signs, I didn't have a miter saw. I didn't know how to use all the tools. So I would always go and buy pre-made, like framed stuff from craft stores and all that. So these are great if you're starting out and you don't know how to use tools, or you don't have the means to go out and buy tools. So I am now playing, I used Jacobian stain 1. That's my favorite. And now I am applying some painter's tape to our frame. Now, if you are like me and you're a hot mess, I highly suggest using a thicker painter's tape because your girl got paint on this, but don't worry, it was a happy mistake and we fixed it. So after that is all laid in there, then I am going to go ahead and take my Waverly. Now I wish, one, I would have used the Rust-Oleum linen chalk paint because I feel like it has like a thinner consistency. The Waverly is definitely a lot thicker in my opinion. Two, your girl loves her foam roller when she applies paint, and like using the brush was killing me because you could see the brush strokes and it was driving me mad. So this took 3 coats to cover. And once we were done, I take this off, and of course there was wet paint on the painter's tape and it got on my frame. But like I said, there's only happy mistakes here, okay? Because your girl's gonna get her chippy brush and you guessed it, we are gonna distress this. So I do get the inside, the outside of the frame, the front of the frame. The only thing I don't get is the back of the frame because the way it's going to be sitting by my bathtub, you'll never see it. But you guys do what you want. And then, yeah, I think it looks great. White. Is it whitewashed? I don't know. I like it. It looks worn. It totally fits the vibe. Now I am taking this vinyl design that I made. And I made this one on my Cameo. And I am just going to use this as my design. Now I did, you guys, take this outside and spray it with clear Rust-Oleum clear, basically. Just the wood sign itself, not over the vinyl. Now this is permanent vinyl. This shouldn't go anywhere. So you shouldn't have to apply a clear coat over it. I know some people do. I don't mess around with it. And I am using my Vinyl Ease transfer tape, and the reason I chose to use this one for this sign is because it's super smooth and I knew it wasn't going to lift up any of my chalk paint. So yeah, it's my favorite for sure. So this came out so cute, and that was so easy, you guys. So easy, and no tools at all needed. Anyone can do this, okay? Check out Arteza for these wood frames. They have them in all sizes. This one, I believe, is the 10 by 10. I'll leave the link down below for y'all. And if you guys are enjoying these videos, you know the drill. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and share these videos so I can keep doing more of them. And again, remember, for the new year, I'll be posting on Tuesday, every other Thursday for wood signs, and Saturdays. Have a good one, you guys, and stay tuned for some hanky. This isn't your bed. In the new house, you can't do this. Are you listening? No. Pretty much no. Hey. You're not supposed to be on here. Those puppy dog eyes, that's why I let him stay on here. That's why I let him get a makeup wipe and clean your face. Oh, my little baby.